the regional sittings of Parliament. As the Speaker was proroguing Parliament a couple of days ago, she announced that there's going to be regional sittings of Parliament in the next session beginning in July, that Parliament is going to sit in different regions, starting in Gulu, Mbale, Masakam, Barara, and so on. Now, firstly, we as the opposition have always said that Parliament should get close to the people. It should go to where the people are. Incidentally, we did not mean physically that that all of us as MPs, staff, and so on, and carry the mess and maybe furniture, whatever the case might be, that we take these things to the people. That's not what we meant. What we meant is that Parliament should be able to connect with the people and address their concerns. Listen to the cries of the people. These issues that we keep tabling, roads that are in a pathetic state, hospitals that are in a shambolic state, and so on and so forth. Parliament should be able to address those concerns of the people. That's what we meant by saying Parliament should get close to the people. That Parliament should be a people-centered Parliament. I've said that severally because that's our vision as Parliament. A people-centered Parliament. That does not mean necessarily that all of us go and have a session there. No, it means addressing the concerns of the people. That in our deliberations, the people are at the center. In the budget that we pass, in the laws that we make, the people are at the center. The challenge there is that these regional sessions, the plan around it is problematic. I wrote a letter to the Speaker last week. And in this letter, I asked the Speaker, number one, it's important that the business committee should have sat regarding this issue. If Parliament is going to sit regionally, the business committee, which plans for the sittings of Parliament and those other activities, should have sat. The business committee has not sat. I also put it to the Speaker in this letter that I wrote last week. I said, these sittings have got a financial implication. If you're going to carry 529 members of Parliament to Gulu, for example, plus staff of Parliament, it means transport, fuel, per diem, and so on and so forth, for all those MPs and for all the staff. So I was asking the Speaker, when did the Parliamentary Commission sit to pass this issue? Because it has got a financial implication. And matters of finance here at Parliament are dealt with by the Parliamentary Commission, not a single individual. The Office of the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Leader of Government Business, all of them received my letter. I've not got a response to this letter. And so we in the opposition are concerned. We are saying, how are these things happening? I'm sure, of course, people would be excited in whichever part of the country to receive members of Parliament, the 529 of us. There would be a bit of excitement and so on. But beyond that, what exactly do these people want? They want service delivery, not us just going to them. But also the process of how this is being handled is problematic, because the business committee did not sit. The Parliamentary Commission has not sat. So who sat as the Parliamentary Commission? Did the Speaker sit on her own and say, I'm now the Commission, and so I've passed this issue, including the billions of shillings that this would require, because it would mean billions of shillings for all these 500 plus MPs and all the, I don't know how many staff that we would need, people going to spend their days and so on and so forth. So I would like to encourage the Speaker of Parliament, allow the systems to work, allow the institution to function. The Parliamentary Commission last sat in August of last year. From Jan of this year, when I became leader of the opposition, I became part of the Parliamentary Commission. I've not attended even one single Parliamentary Commission meeting. Why? Why are we operating this way? What's being hidden? Because when things happen this way, people even begin to assume that maybe this is being done to account for some money, some billions of shillings. It's important that we operate in the open. And that's what I was telling the Speaker in this letter. The Business Committee should sit. The Parliamentary Commission should sit. and pass this issue because it has got a financial implication. It should not be one individual sitting over these matters. I'm yet to get subcommittees have been put in place to prepare, but we the leaders do not know. As leader of the opposition, I've not got a formal communication about this, apart from her pronouncement, because when she made the pronouncement, it should be followed up with details. But the details have not come. The chief opposition whip, the whips of different political parties who are meant to whip their members to go to Gulu and elsewhere do not know. But meetings are happening. So we are saying it's not right that we are kept in the dark, because then it becomes suspicious why these things are happening. Very quietly, we are not given any information. Even when I write a letter, it's not responded to. And these are not matters of one individual because they involve taxpayers' money. So we would like to be clarified. And the reason we are communicating to the public is because the public watches us as Parliament, and they have been raising concerns and saying, wait a minute, Parliament is going to be meeting in different regions. Where is that money coming from? So they think that we are all in this together. No, we are not. As the opposition, we are not. We don't know. That's why I'm writing to the Speaker to say, provide us with this information. How was this determined? It's important. It's important that we are transparent how we get to operate. Otherwise, the public out there is saying we should be working hard to reduce our expenditure. But now, we are increasing our expenditure, unnecessarily so. Because the people of Gulu, what they want is good roads. What they want is for Lacho Hospital in Gulu to be equipped with medicine, with doctors, and all the equipment that is needed. What they want is the schools in Gulu and northern region generally to be functional. And that's the same case with the people of Eastern Uganda, Western Uganda, Central, the entire country. Not so much that as members of Parliament, we all travel and go there and then spend a lot more money. We can sit here in Parliament and discuss these issues if we get to discuss serious issues. Challenge is sometimes the serious issues are not given attention. So the issue is not where we get to sit. The issue is what issues are you tackling when you get to sit even here. So if there is an issue in Gulu, in the West, in the East, and so on, there is a committee, there's a sectoral committee in that line. If it is health committee. If it is roads, there's an infrastructure committee, and so on and so forth. Let's empower the committees to do this work. Committees are normally complaining they're not facilitated to do their work, that there is no money to go to the field. So where is money coming from for the entire Parliament to go? So as opposed to the 529 of us going to these areas, let's empower committees to do their work. That's the work of committees. They go to the field, find out what they have found, interact with the locals, come back to Parliament, give us a report, we discuss, and then we tell the executive what to do. We believe that that's how things should be operating. Number two, the State of the Nation address is happening the day after tomorrow. And the budget speech is next week. Firstly, regarding the State of the Nation address, this shadow cabinet, because this is the shadow cabinet we've held in, and we have agreed not to attend the State of the Nation address and the budget speech for these reasons. The State of the Nation address consistently has become just ritualistic. Mr. Museveni comes to speak to the nation and is regurgitating the things he said in 1990, in early 2000, and so on. Just for your information, I have actually already prepared my response to the State of the Nation address, because within our rules of procedure, the leader of the opposition is meant to respond to the State of the Nation address. My response is ready as of last week. You know why? Because I know what he's going to say. That's the reality. So my response is actually ready. It was ready last week because I know what he's going to say. So we think that that address, it is a mockery to the people of Uganda. People of Uganda want to hear, how are you tackling corruption? As opposed to defending it. How are you dealing with service delivery issues? How are you working hard enough to cut down on the expenditure, firstly of State House, which spends over 2 billion per day, to make sure that there is money available for service delivery? How are you dealing with human rights violations? Critical issues that the people of Uganda want to hear, followed by action. That's never the case. So we as the opposition are saying we don't want to escort Mr. Museveni in this ritual which is not making sense to the people of Uganda. We shall have our chance on the floor to have our response on what is critical that the people of Uganda want to hear. Because even by not attending, you know, we shall get to know what we'll have said on social media, but also we'll get a copy of that document. So no one can say, but what will you be responding to if you won't be attending? Like I've told you, it is ready, my response, because I know what he has always said and what he will say, but we shall also get a copy. But importantly, it is us saying the people of Uganda are tired of the ritual. They want real substance, and we as their representatives, we don't want to accompany you in just a mere ritual that does not make sense. The budget speech. Some will say, but speech is, you know, the budget is yours collectively. You passed it together. Why? You can miss the State of the Nation address, but why would you miss the budget speech? Again, the reality is, the budget that was passed, we as the opposition, we cannot call it our budget. No. We had our alternative budget, which we unveiled. We laid on table our alternative ministerial policy statements that feed into the budget. We tabled our minority report, which was pointing to what we need to, what the budget needs to focus on. Our views were disregarded because we were saying we need to put more money in service delivery. Kampala alone generates over 60% of the country's revenue, but look at the roads in Kampala. And we're saying, don't milk a cow that you don't feed, put money there. Our views were disregarded. We said our debt burden, which is now at about 100 trillion shillings, we need to address it, first of all, reducing our appetite to borrow. Because even this money, when it's borrowed, what does it do? Much of it remains lying idle, and yet we have to pay interest. A year or two, it's not being utilized. There is no real value. Much of it is stolen. And so we're saying, can we reduce our borrowing appetite? Can we reduce on consumptive expenditure? When you see how much money is spent on a number of these votes, meanwhile, service delivery gets to suffer. So all these issues we adumbrated very clearly in our alternatives, but they were disregarded. You saw how the budget process, the appropriation was handled. A corrigenda was brought last minute, adding 14 trillion shillings to the budget. Last minute. They pushed it through, and because they have the numbers, it passed. So we are saying, no, this is not the budget of the people of Uganda, the kind of budget they would want to see. We have shared what the real concerns are, where we need to push money. Healthcare, roads that are in a shambolic state, education. Look at, capitation grant that is sent per child, between 15,000 to 20,000, capitation grant per child, UPE, for an entire year. And you expect this child to compete globally. How? It does not make sense. So all these, as we did share in our alternative budget, our alternatives, our minority reports, but all of these were disregarded. So because they have the numbers, they passed what they want to pass. So it is not our budget because our views were disregarded. Yes, we're in the minority, but listen to those views. Listen to what the people of Uganda are saying. They're always complaining and saying, but wait a minute, we need to cut down on expenditure. So we have agreed also not to attend the budget speech because we are protesting what was encapsulated in the budget, disregarding critical issues of service delivery to the people of Uganda, but also the process. You saw at some point the speaker put the question, and it was clear who had the majority. Because she asked, I put the question, those in favor say aye, to the contrary, nay. And the resounding voice was clear, but she declared a different result altogether. People were shocked. So all of these processes, we are saying, this was problematic. And we don't want to just escort this. And by the way, this concern is not just of us in the opposition. Even some colleagues in the NRM, they were bothered and they expressed their concerns with us and said, wait a minute, what just happened? How can a corrigenda be brought last minute and then it is pushed very quickly? It's as if we're hurrying to deal with I don't know what, because the budget should have been passed by the 31st of May. We had adequate time all through. Why things get to be done in such a hurry and others are being hidden underneath? So even some colleagues in the NRM are complaining, and we are hoping that they will speak out as well. So this is not just a concern of we in the opposition, because even them, they want services delivered in their areas. And so they were saying, we need to cut down on some of these things. And so that is why we are saying we shall also not attend the budget speech, because we must be on record regarding the right things that should be done. Finally, for the parliamentary commissioners, we want to appreciate members of parliament from the ruling NRM and the different opposition parties that have so far appended their signatures to this motion. We want to applaud them, because it's a bold move for those that have, because these commissioners, they are our colleagues, they are friends to many members of parliament, and so on and so forth. So it's a bold step for one to say that even though you're my friend, even though we belong to the same party, let me censure you because of an illegality and irregularity that did happen. So we appreciate everybody that has done so, and we encourage others that have not signed to sign, so that we rectify an irregularity that was occasioned for people to sit and award themselves money in such a surreptitious manner a few months into the office, and they're giving themselves a service award. For what exactly? Now, we have had some voices say that, but this money was passed by Parliament. Why are you people complaining? Is that actually true? When you read the ministerial policy statement and the report of the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, which handles the Parliamentary Commission, and you look at the budget that was passed, there's no such a thing as 1.7 billion shillings to go to Honorable Mpuga, Honorable Silwani, Honorable Akampulira, and Honorable Afoyo-Chan. It's not there. And I challenge any member of Parliament to avail a document to that effect. It's not there. What we think could have happened, because in the ministerial policy statement and even the report of the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, a case was made for a wage shortfall of 45.65 billion, saying that this money had been cut as being part of the Parliamentary Commission. So it creates a wage shortfall. So Parliament resolved, let's reinstate that, so that there's no wage shortfall, so that people are paid their salaries, including staff and so on. So if it was hidden in such a figure, that makes it even more illegal. That makes it even more problematic. If it was hidden in the benefits of past leaders, that makes it problematic, because the benefits of past leaders were debated on the floor of Parliament. Even when some of us had an alternative view, at least it was passed, and we know about it. And that's why you saw former speakers getting cards and so on and all of these different things. Yeah, many of us were opposed, but the majority had that day, so at least it was debated and passed. And we are, by the way, saying it's problematic when somebody who was former vice president, he was also former speaker and also former deputy speaker, he's getting benefits of all those offices. It's shabby. It is wrong. But it was debated, and the majority had their day. When did Parliament debate this 1.7 billion shillings to these commissioners? When? Where are the documents to that effect? I challenge anyone to bring the Hansard showing that we debated this issue. We did not. So if it was hidden somewhere within the lump sum and taken care of there, that makes it even more problematic. The more reason why we are censuring these commissioners, because we must operate transparently. If it was an okay thing, why didn't we debate it? A few weeks ago, Parliament debated a service award to the outgoing Auditor General. I stood up and said, this person is entitled to benefits. Let's leave it at the benefits that he's entitled to. But colleagues said, no, he also deserves a service award. And it was debated. In fact, somebody was suggesting 1 billion shillings. Eventually, Parliament zeroed down on 500 million shillings for Mr. John Muwanga, the outgoing Auditor General. It passed, even though many of us opposed it. But at least it was debated. When did we debate and pass this 1.7 billion shillings to these 4 people? Honorable Matthias Mpuga, Honorable Solomon Sirwanyi, Honorable Prosia Kampulira, and Honorable Esther Afoyo-Chan. We did not. So let's not hoodwink the public to say that those of us who are speaking about these issues, we are dishonest, we passed this thing. We did not pass it anywhere. So if you hid it somewhere within the lump sum budget, and that's where you're taking care of it from, that makes it even more problematic. The reason why these are our colleagues, in fact, we had expected that these are our colleagues would be leaders worth their names and say, you know what, this is problematic, let's step down. Don't even wait for us to push you out. But since they've chosen not to do that, we shall do what we have got to do. And also to cleanse our name, because you cannot say we passed this and now we are being dishonest. We did not. And I challenge anyone to avail information to the contrary. Those are Gamuze, ku short notice. Tubadde wano nga muwulira ebikompolo ebweru. Tiyagaasi oba mulimu n'amasasi era mukyabiwulira. Abakozi ba KCCA abeera enguudo n'abalala bali mu kwekalakaasa. Ku lwaki sente zaabwe kati emyezi 4 tebazibawa. Abantu bano okusookera ddala akasente bafuna katono. Twalo nga 15 omwezi. Ate nga bakola emirimu mingi. Bakeera ssaawa 9 ssaawa 10 nga beera enguudo. Abamu babakoona n'obakoona kubanga abatamivu babeera bavuga ssaawa ezo bayita mu buzibu obw'ekitalo. Akasente bafuna katono, tuze tugamba akasente bakongere. Naye mu kifo ky'okukongera ate n'ako akatono tekatuuka ku bantu bano. Myezi 4 abaana kati bazzeeyo okusoma. Omuntu afunye kasente ke myezi 4 anaabeerawo atya, aneeriisa atya ne famire ye. Banaye tubeere fair. Minister of Finance namuteeka ku nninga mu Parliament gye buvuddeko awo n'atukakasanga Parliament nti sente zino Ministry of Finance yazita. Kati twagala tutegeere sente zaakwamirawa wakati awo okuva ku Ministry of Finance okutuuka ku KCCA n'abalina okusasula abantu bano. Ani akwese sente zino, ani azituulidde? Twagala okutegeera. Oboolyawo waliwo azituddeko, manye abantu bano balina emizannyo gye bazannya. Sente empitirivu bagenda n'aziteeka ku fixed deposit account. Afune enjawulo, afune interest. Ena abantu bwe babonaabona. So twagala Ministry of Finance ne KCCA baveeyo tutegeere sente z'abantu bano ziriwa. Lwaki abantu bano tubayisanga abatali bannansi? Twagala okwebaza abantu abo olw'okwekalakaasa mu mirembe. Newankubadde tuwulira obweru bali mubakuba tiyagaasi na kubayisa bubi, tetumanyi bamulimu n'amasasi naki, tubiwulira ebibwatukira. Naye bo bagambye nti tujja kuvaayo, tubeebaza olw'obuvumu obwo. Nga bwe tubyogerako ebintu bino, amaloboozi gammwe nammwe gavengayo mu mirembe. Era kirungi ekyokujja ku Parliament nga mwekalakaasa, kubanga Parliament yayisa sente zino. Minister of Finance yakitubuulira wano mu Parliament sente zaayisibwa. Kati kirungi ne muvaayo era temusirika, kubanga bw'osirika osigala onyigirizibwa. Mweyongere okwogera ku nsonga ezo nga naffe eno bwe tulwana nga bwe tubuuza answers. Oweekitiibwa Speaker bwe yali aggalawo Parliament session eno yalangirira nti session eddako Parliament egenda kutuula mu bitundu ebyenjawulo mu ggwanga. Ejatandikira eggulu tugende Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara na wa. Ffe mu opposition tuze tugamba nti Parliament kikulu nnyo okutuukirira abantu. Naye ate tetwali tutegeeza nti Parliament yonna nti kaakati ababaka 529 n'abakozi bonna n'entebe zetutuulako naki tubisombe byonna tubitwale eyo. Nedda si kye twali tutegeeza. Twali tutegeeza nti obuweereza butuuke ku bantu, kubanga ffe vision yaffe gamba tuli people centered parliament, nti mu buli kye tukola abantu tubasosowaze. Amateeka gatuyisa, budget gye tuyisa, abantu babeere nnyo ku mwanjo nga baganyulwa mu nsonga zino zituteesaako, kye twali tutegeeza. Naye ate kakati bannaffe oba bakifuna bulala nti kati tusombe buli kimu buli omu n'ebintu byonna bitukozesa tubitwale eyo. Ensonga eyo erina obuzibu bwa mirundi ebiri. newankubadde yes of course bwe tugendeeyo mu bantu basanyuka ne balaba ku balaka bulijjo ababaka bulijjo bwe balaba ku TV ne babalabako naye abantu ekyo si kye baagala just okututunulako baagala buweereza. Obuzibu bwe buli nti ensonga eno yali erina okutuula mu business committee okugiteesaako, ekyo tekyaliwo. Yali erina okutuula mu parliamentary commission kubanga yiisa ssente. Ekintu kino kiriko ssente empitirivu. Nawandiikidde sipiika ebbaluwa eno wiiki ewedde nga sipiika mubuuza business committee yatuula ddi okuplaninga entuula zino ezigenda okubeera mu bitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo. Ekyokubiri, parliamentary commission yatuula ddi okuyisa ssente zino kubanga bw'oba ogenda kutambuza ababaka 529 n'abakozi bangi, mulimu ensonga za PDM, transport y'amafuta naki gye bagenda okusula eyo n'ebintu bye tulina okusomba okutwala. Parliamentary commission evunaanyizibwa ku nsonga za ssente za parliament. Yatuula ddi okuyisa ekintu kino kubanga zino ziba ssente empitirivu buwumbi na buwumbi. So nga mbuuza sipiika kyogamba watuula gwe nga gwe ne weefuula komishoni kiba kikyamu kubanga nze nga leader of opposition sikimanyiiko ate nga ntula ku komishoni naye bukyanga nfuuka leader of opposition twabeerangawo commission meeting n'emu. In fact nategeezebwa nti commission meeting esemba okubeerawo yali mu August omwaka oguwedde n'ebintu bisalibwawo ssente ziyisibwa. Ani aziyisa nga commission tetudde? Abaffe commission etuula mu nkukutufu abamu abagituulako nga tutegeezeddewa nga tebatubuuliddeeko. So speaker namuwandiikira n'agirecevinga, deputy speaker naye n'afuna kopi ye, prime minister n'afuna kopi ye n'abalala tannanziramu. Naye ate nga sikimanyiiko tuwulira nti meeting zituula okuteekateeka ensonga zino okutuula mu bitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo. Naye kakati ffe abakulembeze tetumanyiiko ng'ogyeko ekyo sipiika kyeyalangirira okomaze okulangirira naye kiyise mu mitendera ne tukiteesaako ne tutegeera nti ssente zino zowe ziri kubanga ffe twalirowoozezza nti committees twali zempowerinze ze zigenda eyo mu field nga zitukiikirira ffenna nga parliament ne committees zeemulugunya tezirina ssente zimala okugenda eyo mu field. Kakati ssente zino ezitwala ababaka bonna buwumbi na buwumbi zo zivuddewa? Yekyo kyetaagisa kubanga abantu kye baagala bwe tuba tutudde wano mu parliament tuteese ku nsonga ezibaluma. Baagala ddagala malwaliro gaabwe, baagala nguudo, baagala amasomero, baagala buweereza kye baagala. Naye ate kaakati abantu abatusuubira nti twali badde tukendeeza ku nsaasaanya yaffe ate tugyongerako bwongezi obuulya mu kintu ekiteetaagisa. So ninze sipiika addemu ebbaluwa yange eno tannagiddamu kuva last week naye ate nga tuwulira enteekateeka zigenda mu maaso. Ffe lwaki batuggalira ebweru? Lwaki ebintu bino babikola mu nkukutu? Fa opposition tetuli part of parliament kubanga tetumanyiiko ne chief opposition whip alina okuwipinga abamemba ba opposition bonna nti kakati bannaye tugenda Mbale, kati tugenda Gulu, tugenda Mbalala. Tetumanyi. Twebuuza lwaki ebintu bino bikolebwa mu nkukutu. Infact waliwo n'abalowooza nti oba oliawo waliwo abaagala okukola accountability embalirira nti kati yene engeri egy'okubayamba okukola accountability eyo. So kati abantu mugenda ne mbalowoozesa ebintu bingi kubanga temuvudde eyo temuli beerufu. Kikulu netubeera abeerufu mu nsonga zino. Ensonga enda opposition tutudde mu shadow cabinet netukkaanya nti tetugenda kwetaba mu state of the nation address ne budget speech kulw'ensonga zino wammanga. Okusookera ddala state of the nation address Museveni yagyonoona ge mazima. Ensonga bannayuganda ze bansuubira okwogerako tazoogerako. Adda mu story ate mu 1986 nga tuyingirawo n'ebirala n'ebirala mu kifo ky'okwogera ku nsonga ez'enkizo eziruma bannayuganda, obulyake, okutulugunya abantu, kubaliisa akakanja ne babawamba ne babasibeeyo ne batwala gye bitategeerekeka naki. Ensonga enkulu, ensonga ez'obuweereza zabalina okwogerako etazoogerako bibeera ng'ebyolusaagiriro. Kakati ffe tugamba nti nedda tugenda kuwerekera nga just oli muzannyo. nadda mu bachwezi nayogera ku bachwezi nayogera ku kino nga bannayuganda baagala ensonga enkulu ezibaluma mu mateeka nga leader of opposition nina okwanukula state of the nation address era obudde obugenda tuuka ninjagala bategeeza nti okwanukula kwange statement eyange nagimaliriza dda last week kulwaki kubanga mmanyi mu M7 byagenda okwogerako bebinja gya updatingamuko katono kubanga byagenda okwogerako buli mwaka byayogerako so kati ffe tugamba nti tujja kubeerayo ekkololo bwe tuba twagala okutegeera biki byayogeddeyo emitimbagano weegiri tujja funa ne kopi eyo tulabe biki byayogeddeko bigatta ku ggwanga naye kyetuzze tulaba nedda kyanjawulo so tugamba nti nedda tetujja kukuwerekera nga oyogera ku nsonga ezitaluma bannansi ate nga z'olina okuba nga oyogerako ensonga eya budget speech era n'olunaku lwa budget tusazeewo nga shadow cabinet tetujja kubeerayo ekkololo era nga tukubiriza ne bannaffe ab'opposition betukiikirira tutambulire awo kale tugenda ku state of the nation address ne budget waliwo abagamba nti naye budget yaffe ng'ababaka ba parliament newankubadde ffe tuli opposition naye ffe tugiyisa lwaki yo waakiri tetugendayo abantu abo nze mbabuuza nti budget yeyo kweri yaffe kubanga ffe nga opposition twafulumya alternative budget netufulumya ne alternative ministerial policy statements ne minority reports ku budget eno nga tugamba nti ensonga enkulu we twali tadde ssente ey'omuwoomusolo twongere ssente mu byobulamu twongere ssente ku nguudo tukendeze ssente zetwewola ne tuzoonoona ne zibbibwa tukendeze ssente zisaasaanyibwa state house ekozesa obuwumbi 2 buli lunaku twongere ssente mu buweereza n'ensonga zaffe ne bataziwa makulu kakati bo olwokubanga balina ennamba ne bayisa kye baali baagala kati ogamba otya nti naffe ekyo kyaffe ng'ate ffe twalina endowooza endala ze baagaana okuwa amakulu ate ng'ensonga zino bannayuganda ze boogerako so kati tugamba nti bajeti eyo nedda newankubadde yesi yayita naye ffe twagiwakanya era tuli ku record n'endowooza zaffe so nga tugamba nedda twagala kuwerekera kintu kikyamu waliwo ekirala kye bayingizaawo kye bayita corrigenda ya butabalika 14 14 trillion bakireeta last minute awo ne bakiyise mu mangu mu speed ne tugamba sookoleke lwaki ebintu bino tubikola mu ngeri yakwekwikirira lwaki tetuli balambulukufu ne process mwagiraba sipiika n'abuuza ekibuuzo mu kulonda ababaka ne boogera kirala sipiika n'alangirira kirala ebintu ebyo bituswaza bannange kakati olwa konsansi zitugamba nti nedda eyo budget si ya munnansi ffe twabalaga budget eya munnansi sente we zirina okugenda we zirina okuteekebwa so ne tugamba nti neyo nayo tetujja kubeerayo nga twolesa obutali bumativu bwe tulina ng'abopposition ekisembayo genda mu maaso okujja obwesige mu bannaffe ba commissioners kubanga baatuula ne beegabira akawumbi kamu mu miliyoni 7 nga beesiima oba baali beesiima ki ng'ate baali bakayingira office myezi bwezi ne batuula ne beesiima mu nkukutu twagala okwebaza ababaka bonna aba NRM aba opposition ebiina ebyenjawulo abavuddeyo ne basayininga motion eno kikolwa si kya butiitiizi kubanga bakommissioners bano babaka bannaffe tutuula nabo mikwano gy'ababaka ab'enjawulo naye ababaka bagamba newankubadde muli bannaffe newankubadde muli mikwano gyaffe kino ekyakolebwa kikyamu katubajjemu obwesige bannaffe bano munnaye tebaalirize nakubajjamu bwesige baaligambye naye omanyi kyetwakola nedda kyali kikyamu katulekulire naye baagaana katubasindiikirize si mu mutima mubi naye nga tugamba tulina okutereeza ekikyamu ekyakolebwa waliwo bannaffe abavuddeyo ne bagamba nti naye mwe abaagala okujja bannammwe obwesige ensonga eno palamenti ye yagiyisa lwaki mwayisa ekintu ate kakati mwefudde njagala kyogera mu lwatu wano nti palamenti teyisangako sente zino akawumbi akamu mu miliyoni 7 ezaweebwa Honorable Mathias Mpuuga, Honorable Solomon Sirwanyi, Honorable Prosia Kampulira, Honorable Esther Foyochan. Parliament eziyisangako. Bw'otunuulira Ministerial Policy Statement, n'otunuulira Committee ya Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee eyo evunaanyizibwa ku Parliamentary Commission, n'olaba ne budget eyayisibwa. Temuli kintu nti akawumbi akamu mu miliyoni 700 okugenda ku bantu abo abana. Tekiriimu. Era nchallenging omuntu yenna agamba nti Parliament yaziyisa atulage. Zayisibwa mu kiwandiiko ki debate yali ddi twabidebatingako ddi. Kubanga bayinza okubanga bakikweka kati ekimu ku ebyo Parliament yayisa okuddamu okuzza wage sente zisasulibwa omusaala n'abakozi naki zaali zikendeezeddwa. Parliament negamba neda tuzizzeeyo ne bongeramu obuwumbi 45. Kakati baba bakikwekamu ekyo kikyamu. Lwaki temwakijjayo mu bulambulukufu obwakyo? N'ensonga endala abamu bagamba nti kyayita mu benefits za past leaders. Benefits za past leaders Parliament yaziteesaako. Era kyemuvudde mulaba abaali basipiika bafuna emmotoka n'ebirala. Newankubadde ffe abamu twakiwakanya nga tugamba naye sookoleke abantu bano abamu kati ng'Oweekitiibwa Sekandi yali vice president, yali speaker, yali deputy speaker, naye atafuna benefits za offices ezo zonna. Kikyamu. So tulina ebintu bingi bitwawakanya, naye at least kyayita omuntu waba akiwolereza agamba Parliament yakiyisa newankubadde twakiwakanya. Zino zo sente zina akawumbi akamu mu miliyoni 700 zayitawa. Era ku Hansard ani asobola okujjayo Hansard nti twateesa ku nsonga zino? Tetuziteesangako. Juzi Parliament twateesa ku kasiimo aka Auditor General ono ali mu kufuluma amaliriza emirimu gye Mwami John Muwanga. Nayogera ku floor n'engamba nti ne bannange abamu nti omukulu ono alina benefits z'alina okufuna. Afuna ezo naye ekya service award ekyakasiimo nedda. Ne balemerako abamu ne bagamba nti fact nga okwongera ku benefits ze tumwina akawumbi just kakumusiima. Gye byaggweera Parliament neeyisa miliyoni 5 ez'akasiimo service award. Twakiwakanya naye kyayita. So ku record kwekiri tinokubadde ffe twakiwakanya naye kyayita. So kakati ekyo yinza okugamba nti kiri mu mateeka kubanga abatusinga ennamba bakiisa. Kino ekyabannaffe 1.7 biliyoni kyayita ddi twakiteesaako ddi nga Parliament. So bannaffe baleme kubuzaabuza ggwanga nti Parliament mwe mwayisa ekintu kino ate kakati mwefudde. Nedda, tetukiyisaako. Oba balina bwe bakikweka nti kati sente ezo balina bwe bazijje ate kati guba na musango mulala. So ensonga eno tukyagiriko era nga twebaza abasayinize bonna okulaba nti twetereeza nga Parliament. Mwebale nnyo. Opposition MPs have not signed the censure motion yet. Our hope is that they will sign. Some have been away on different engagements on behalf of Parliament. They are back. Some are even here. From here, they are going down to sign. So there are those that have been away for different reasons. Some have been on leave, like the Honorable Flavia Galule, who we are very delighted to see back. She has come specifically to sign. Her leave is still ongoing, the maternity leave. She has come to sign, and others. There are those who, maybe because they are friends to some of the commissioners, or they have been whipped not to sign. Our hope is that we shall speak with one voice, and I want to really put it to them that they are actually even more accountable to their constituents, their voters, than even ourselves. Because their constituents out there are saying, this is an important issue that has got to be dealt with. Our hope is that if they don't want to listen to us as leaders, at least let them listen to their voters, because their voters are saying a different thing. And our hope is that they will listen to their voters, because that's where it matters. You know, in the last Parliament, there are some people who refused to listen to their voters during Toji Kwatako, and they paid heavily. So there are sanctions at different levels, especially that one. So our hope is that we shall speak with one voice, and our hope is that no one will see this as witch hunt. You know, in the past, the people who were saying this was the witch hunt, because we in NEP, we started this regarding our person, our own. Some people said that was an internal fight, but there are 3 who belong to the NRM. So you can't say this is witch hunt or whatever the case might be. we simply are saying let's rectify an illegality and irregularity that happened. Nakasita, when do we handle commission? Nakasi, sorry. You know, we've got reports of even some of our members who are demobilizing. We don't know what the incentive is, you know, because what we have had is some are demobilizing, there's exchange of money. We have had, I don't have any facts yet that anyone has been given money and told not to sign, but I am hearing these things. So we are trying to find out, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of these issues, yeah? Because there's too much talk going around. But most importantly, I hope we can stick to the principle. An irregularity happened. Let's deal with that irregularity. Rachel, when do we get to deal with commission? That's my concern too. As the leader of the opposition who sits on the commission, I am concerned that I don't know the affairs of the commission. I don't know when commission meetings sit, if any has sat. I've not attended any because I've not been invited to any. By the way, even the budget of the commission, it is supposed to first be discussed by the commission before it is eventually passed. Who sat as the commission? Because at least I didn't attend that meeting. Am I being kept out deliberately because they know I'm making too much noise and I will oppose certain things? Maybe, because looks like the commission is sitting somehow. But who is comprising those who are sitting? Because I am a full member of the commission. I've never, not once, since I became LoP in January, I've never got an invitation to a commission meeting. But decisions are being taken. And that's why I keep writing to the speaker, so that I am on record. So that tomorrow, no one says, you were invited and you didn't come. Where is the invitation? Because I'm the one who keeps writing and saying, when are we sitting? When will the commission sit? So it's important that there is transparency. So it's a concern that I also have. Because if meetings are not happening, if I'm not being invited to attend meetings, and somebody is taking decisions somewhere, that is ultra vires, it is wrong. And that's how people get to suspect us of many things. Why are we operating in a surreptitious manner? What are we trying to hide? That even we members of the commission, like myself, I'm not invited to commission meetings. Why? Clearly, there is something fishy. That's what I can say, and we need to rectify that. And by the way, that's why we are censuring these commissioners. Because as you saw, those ones sat very quietly. I'm told how it would happen in the past. They would target when some people are away. I heard Honorable Nabanja, the Right Honorable Nabanja, Prime Minister, complaining when I was taking her on regarding Mabati issues, who were in Kalungu for a function. She said, but Honorable Senyonyi, why do you keep calling me a thief? Did you see me among the commissioners in that meeting who sat and awarded themselves money? Meaning she also had her concerns. I'm told that meeting sat when she was away and the Minister of Finance, because all of them were away. So when you target when people have traveled, for example, and you quickly call a commission meeting so that you pass something, that is also problematic. We must be transparent. Kajubi estimate to be spent on regional sittings. In fact, I don't even want to just estimate. That's why I'm demanding for a commission meeting, because the parliamentary commission is the one in charge of finances of this institution. And so I've written to the speaker saying the commission is supposed to sit to approve these regional sittings with a budget attached. How much in exactness is going to be passed? But now we don't know. We are simply estimating billions, of course, because if all the 529 MPs, including the 28 ex-officials, because they're also members of parliament, they don't vote, but they attend our meetings and they debate and so on. So even those you can add to them. And then the numerous staff. So everything is being done quietly, which is problematic. The commission has got to sit and discuss a budget, that this is the amount going to be spent on these regional sittings. And then we discuss, is it justifiable? Shouldn't this money be spent on something else that is more relevant, more plausible? All these are issues of concern. And finally, Didan, former service award. You see, that's the problem when you set a precedent. Everyone will want it. In the last parliament, this parliament actually objected to a service award to government officials who went and they saved government a lot of money. The oil case and so on, arbitration. But you see, even when actually in reality they saved government trillions of shillings, the understanding was you people earn a salary to do that. So you were doing your job. And that's why Parliament itself objected to that service award. That committee report, by the way, was read by the Right Honourable Anita Mong, who was the then Vice Chairperson of COSASE. And Parliament passed a resolution saying, number one, this money should be refunded by these people because it was wrong. Number two, the IGG should investigate that golden handshake. You remember? So Parliament actually pronounced itself on that because it was wrong. Now here are people who are paid the salary, are getting, and they've not saved government anything or whatever the case might be, like the other ones did. Under what premise do they award themselves money? Now, when you set that precedent, everyone else will want a service award. When we were discussing the service award to the Auditor General, I said, he has benefits that he's entitled to, that's enough. And he said, how about now all other workers of government at different levels? KCCA workers are out there protesting, not for an award, for their salary that is due to them, not a service award. They are not being paid a service award, but people are being given service awards. They are saying, give us our salary for 4 months, our salary, which we are entitled to, we have worked for it. They're not getting their salary. But people who earn salaries and have benefits are given a service award. So that's why even now former MPs are saying, but wait a minute, everyone is getting a service award. We have also served the country. We should get a service award. I want for serving this country. They set a foundation all the way from the Constituent Assembly to where we are today, and we salute them. I'm, however, opposed to their idea of a service award. Because who are you going to award and who won't you award? How about other public servants? Forget the politicians. There are actually public servants who have done a lot more work than us politicians. So who do you award, who do you not award? How about former police officers? Some of whom are chasing their pension, not a service award, their pension for years, the service award asked for by our former colleagues. No, it is not right. We thank you for serving the country, but surely, who are we going to award and who won't be awarded? What weighing scale are you going to use? Because is it true, and I say this with due respect, is it true that, so will they also get a service award? They have their benefits and pension. Please, let's not vulgarize this issue. With due respect to our former leaders, you served this country, thank you, but no. Twagala okubiriza bannaffe abatanna signinga tukole ekituufu. Abamu ku bannaffe badde tebaliiwo nga batambudde ku mirimu egy'enjawulo egya Parliament, kirungi bakomyewo, abamu we bali wano era nga bagenda kusayininga, abamu babadde ku leave, maternity leave nga Honorable Flavia Kalole n'abalala akomyewo okusayininga. So tukubiriza abali eyo bajje basayininge. Tubiwulira nti tulina bannaffe ate aboogereza bannaffe abamu nti temusayininga. Tetumanyi oba tubiwulireyo mu nkuubo nti baba bawayo akasente. Simanyi, sirina bukakafu ku ekyo. Naye tubiwulira. Gwe bw'oba toyagala sayininga, leka abagala okukola ekituufu bakikole. Kubanga tulina abamu nga bagamba nti ono omuntu ono mukwano gwange nnyo, tuvudde wala, newankubadde yakola ekikyamu, nabba ssente y'omuwa omusolo, tewali buzibu. Bw'oba osazeewo okulaba otyo gwe ng'omukulembeze, ate tosikiriza balala kukola ekyo nga gwe buugizaako okwasaganya ensonga eyo. So tugezaako okunoonyereza ku nsonga zino, naye tukubiriza bannaffe omulanga, tubakubira omulanga nti abantu bemuli accountable tu okusookera ddala be balonzi bammwe, nga temunnabeera na accountable kuffe bakulembeze bannammwe, naye abalonzi, ate abalonzi bavuddeyo ku nsonga eno. Temubeera nga bannaffe abali mu Parliament ewedde togikwatako, abalonzi bagamba temugikwatako, omubaka ye najja n'agikwatako, mwabalaba abasinga tebadda nakudda. So tukole ekituufu n'abalonzi kye batusuubiramu. Lwekyo abuuziza ku nsonga za commission, munnange nange nsonga ezikwata ku parliamentary commission zireme kubeera mu nkukutu, nze neemulugunya nti bujjanga nfuuka leader of opposition ndi member wa commission naye siyitibwanga mu meeting n'egyo n'emu, ate ng'emirimu gitambula, sente zisaasaanyibwa. Ani atuulanga parliamentary commission? Oba bagiyita n'etuula nze nga tebampise, era nga njagala ntegeere lwaki, kiki bankweka, lwakubanga njogera nnyo ku nsonga zino ate nga sigenda kusirika, naye ndi full member of the commission, lwaki siyitibwa? Ebintu bikolebwa mu nkukutu. So tulina okubeera abalambulukufu, obulungi ku nsonga zino eza parliamentary commission kubanga ebigenda maaso bikyamu. Nali eyo Kalungu ku mukolo ogumu owekitiibwa Nabbanja naye yaliyo ne mubuuza ku nsonga ez'amabaati wegenda okwogera nagambe ne LoP lwaki ompita omubbi nze wandabako mu parliamentary commission mwaba abeegabira ssente kitegeeza naye yakiraba nti kikyamu ate mu meeting eyo teyaliiwo mpulira oluusi baalinanga abantu abamu tebaliiwo ono atambudde noono ne bagiyita mangu ekyo kiba kikyamu naye nze sifunanga ku invitation okutuula mu parliamentary commission kyovudde olaba mpandiika amabaluwa gangamba naye Madam Speaker lwaki totuuza commission ne twogera ku nsonga zino. Mwami Kajubi na estimate ate sina kubanga ntebereza butebereza kyovudde olaba ngamba nti parliamentary commission yalitudde ne tufuna budget embalirira nti bwe tunaagenda eggulu sente mmeka ezigenda okusaasaanyibwa buwumbi bumeka bwe tunaagenda Embaale Masaka Mbarara sente mmeka tukikubeeko ebirowoozo tukiyise oba tukigaane ne tetunafuna mukisa ogwo kyovudde olaba ffe tugamba nti nedda enkola eno si ntuufu. Finally Dylan abuuziza ku nsonga y'abaali ababaka abavuddeyo ku nsonga y'akasiimo nga nabo basaba akasiimo. Sookera ddala njagala kwebaza abaali ababaka okubira ddala mu ababaka abamu ekisanja kiggwanga tayogerangako ku floor ya parliament kati naye n'asaba akasiimo. Nedda bannange sigambye nti abaali ababaka mbu tebakola mirimu bagikola twagirabanga naye bwe tunaagamba nti kakati buli omu afuna akasiimo kigenda kuyitirira sente ezo teziriiwo. Kati budget eno gye twayisa obutabalika n'ogu7 URS ekuŋŋaanya buli obutabalika nga 23 ku 25. So tuleme kisusa nnyo. Tulina abakozi ba KCC abali mu kwekalakaasa ebweru awo bo tebasaba kasiimo basaba musaala gwabwe gwe bakoleredde emyezi ena tebannasasulibwa kati bano tebannafuna musaala gwabwe ate abalala baagala kasiimo. Nedda bannange tuleme kususa nnyo nsonga eno otherwise kijja kwonooneka tube nga tetulina ngeri gye tukikontrolinga. Mwebale nnyo.
Waliwo ensonga emweyo
badde manyi ebibuuzo biweddeyo kale these two finally tetusoma biwandiiko babitulage biwandiiko ki ebyo bye tutaasoma kubanga nze mbagambye nti mu ministerial policy statement mu report ya Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee evunaanyizibwa ku Parliamentary Commission ne mu budget temuliimu service award akawumbi kamu mu million 7 eza Honorable Mpuuga, Honorable Sirwanyi, Honorable Akampulira ne Honorable Afoyokyani teziri mu documents nzirina kati abagamba nti biri mu document bazitulage bajeyo Hansard eraga nti ekintu kino kyateesebwako nga bwe twasiteesa ku benefits ez'aba speaker abaali ba speaker nga bwe twasiteesa ku benefits za Auditor General naki bajeyo Hansard kubanga Hansard yo terimba tubasaba bajeyo Hansard ensonga eno twagikubaganya kuddi ebirowoozo baleme kujja kumala googera ngambo na kimbu tetusoma kale mwe abasoma ate abamu lwakuba saagala balabisa saawa zino tebajja mu parliament era tebatera kuteesa so kakati tetumanyi oba be basoma babeere nga bateesa n'abaana baabwe mayumba gaabwe naye kale oba bo basoma batulage kye basoma ffe kitasoma bajeyo Hansard eraga nti ensonga eno yateesebwako bagitulage teriiyo. For our colleagues who keep insinuating that you say some colleagues don't read, I want to challenge them again because I have all the documents, the ministerial policy statement, the report of the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee that is concerned with the commission, the budget. There is no such a thing as a service award of 1.7 billion to Honorable Mpuuga, Honorable Sirwanyi, Honorable Afoyokyani and Honorable Akampulira. It is not there. I challenge them to produce it, and I challenge them to produce the Hansard where this issue was debated, because all the other awards were debated to former speakers and so on, to the Auditor General. Even though we had our disagreements, at least it was debated. I challenge them to produce the Hansard where this matter was debated. It's not there. So stop confusing people, surely.